Hi everyone, welcome to JEE Max, JEE Mains Advanced Extreme Series. Welcome to season number 2 of JEE Max. Actually, in season number 2 through JEE Max, we are completely concentrating on a topic. In a particular topic, we are concentrating from zero level to higher levels, and here in season number 2, we are concentrating on complex numbers, which is very important topic for all competitive examinations, especially for JEE Mains and Advanced. Actually, so far in a complex numbers, we have successfully completed 15 lessons and 14 lessons. This is about 15th lesson. And every minute information of the complex number that I have been providing through these videos. So my friends, please don't forget to check the description. There I am providing very good important question papers, assignments for you. And utilize that opportunity, and please don't forget to share and subscribe my channel, and please don't forget to press the bell icon. Yeah, actually in complex numbers, lesson number 15, here the most important area of the complex numbers, which is rotation method or Coni's method, and simple form of the Coni's method that we are concentrating. Because if you are good at this particular rotation method and Coni's method, then almost all complex numbers is with you in your hand. If anybody is confident on finding argument and modulus and geometrical interpretation of argument, and how to apply the rotation method and Coni's method thoroughly, if they have practiced everything, especially in complex numbers, then complex numbers chapter is the one of the easiest chapter for you. So here through this lesson I am doing my level best I am giving my level best information for you. Actually, nobody will provide this kind of information for you. Please try to practice all this information, and you put everything in your notes, and concentrate each and every point very carefully. Now coming to what is the rotation method and what is Coni's method. Suppose A Z1, B Z2, C Z3 are three complex numbers which are located on the organd plane like this. So corresponding to A and BC, so this is vector AB, and this is vector AC, and this is vector BC. And in actually here, see the arrows and the directions given in the arrows. Here alpha is I have mentioned here like this. This is alpha. So this is A, point A. This is vector AB. So vector AB is what? Z2 minus Z1. So as a position vector of the position vector of this point, that I am represented with OP bar. So AB bar is a vector on the organd plane. The corresponding position vector of vector AB bar is represented with OP bar. So OP bar is nothing but what? Vector Z2 minus Z1. How? This is nothing but AB bar. AB bar means OB bar minus OA bar. OB bar minus OA bar. So what is the position vector of the point, this Z2 minus Z1, that I have represented with OP bar? With respect to origin as my fixed point. Similarly, the position vector of vector AC is nothing but OQ bar, that is Z2, AB AC bar is what? OC minus, that is Z3 minus Z1. So this is my this one. And if I have rotated the vector OP through an angle alpha in anti-clockwise direction, see the direction, here it is, I have mentioned like this. This is called anti-clockwise direction. Then with respect to this OP, how can I represent OQ is the question. So with respect to one vector, how can we represent the another vector if there is some angle formed in between them? That is the concept of rotation method. So through this rotation method, what I am saying is, see the theorem like this. Actually, in our previous video that I have mentioned in the last slide of my previous video, there in the coming video we are concentrating on beautiful theorem, and with the help of that theorem, we can solve several problems. That is, this is the theorem of that one. Here, what this theorem says, if Z1, Z2, Z3 be the fx's of the vertices of a triangle, so this is fx's of the vertices of the triangle. Okay, described in the counterclockwise sense. Counterclock in the sense, anti-clockwise sense. Okay, they are located like this. Then, if angle BAC, so BAC, this is angle BAC. That means if BA, that BA rotated to BC. So this is an anti-clockwise sense. If angle BAC is equal to alpha, then cos alpha plus I sin alpha into e power I alpha. Okay, this is what the cos alpha plus I sin alpha e power I alpha, if angle BAC is equal to alpha. Okay, so this is the relation between the angles represented between the fx's of the complex numbers of the, as mentioned in given as vertices of the triangle capital ABC described in the anti-clockwise direction. So how to get this? How to get this? Here, okay, let P and Q, suppose these are the fx's of the complex numbers. So I am taking my P and Q 2 points on the organoid plane whose fx's are Z2 minus Z1, nothing but what the position vector of the vector AB. But that means I have drawn a line, a vector which is parallel to AB and passing through origin. Again, I have drawn another vector which is passing through O and parallel to AC. So the position vector of the point OP bar is equal to Z2 minus Z1, and position vector of the point OQ is equal to Z3 minus Z1. And the same angle, since here this is the line parallel to here and this is the line parallel to here, and the same angle holds good here, the same angle is given. So angle POQ is equal to what? Alpha here. So actually here AC, modulus of AC is nothing but what? Here OQ, and modulus of AB is nothing but what? Here OP. So what is my AC by OP? AC by here this length, AC by AB is nothing but OQ by OP, because they are similar triangles. So the same thing I have represented. Only thing is I have taken a similar triangle where the corresponding sides of the triangle, I have taken the parallel sides which are passing through the origin, so that the same angle is making at origin. So therefore, what is my AC? That is Z3 minus Z1 by Z2 minus Z1 has a modulus. This is modulus. This is the modulus of that complex number with argument alpha. If you know the modulus and argument of the complex numbers, then according to the Euler's form, as we said earlier, I can represent this as what? Z2, Z3 minus Z1 by Z2 minus Z1 as what? Small r into cos alpha plus I sin alpha. So here my r is what? OP by OQ. So if I know the argument theta and if I know the magnitude r, how can I represent a complex number in Euler's form? R into cos theta plus I sin theta. This is the simplest form. Or I can represent this as r e power I theta. These are all are the familiar forms for me. Here it is e power I alpha. Clear? So now here also I know the magnitude of these complex numbers. I know the angle made by them in anti-clockwise sense. That is argument also I know. So how can I represent? Simply I can represent Z3 minus Z1 by Z2 minus Z1 is equal to, this is r e power I alpha. That is AC by AB e power I alpha. That is mod Z3 minus Z1 by Z2 minus Z1 e power I alpha. That's all. This is called, this is when we with the help of this, what we learn is we can represent one complex number with the help of another complex number when we have when we know the magnitude of the complex number and angle between the two complex numbers. So in that aspect, this rotation method is very, very, very useful for you. Clear? So here with the help of this, now practice, these are the some of the techniques. So with this, what is given here? 4 points are given for you. One is AB and one is CD, and angle between AB and CD is pi by 2. That too, AB and CD angle is in the anti-clockwise direction. Pi by 2 is given for you. And if you know the magnitude of AB and CD very well, then we can represent CD in terms of AB or AB in terms of CD. That how can we represent? That is, since AD is perpendicular to CD, so whenever these two are perpendicular, so argument of AC and AD, that means here Z1 minus Z2 by Z3 minus Z4, because AB, this is AB is what? Z1 minus Z2 minus Z1 minus Z2 or Z2 minus Z3, and AC is what? CD is what? Z2 minus Z4. Okay, now argument between these two is plus or minus pi by 2, because the angle is 90 degrees. Therefore, they are what? Purely imaginary. They are what? Purely imaginary. So, if with the help of this, we can, whenever the two vectors made an angle pi by 2, then simply we can represent that in the form of argument. So, argument of these two vectors is equal to plus or minus pi by 2. Whenever argument is plus or minus pi by 2, obviously they are what? Purely imaginary numbers. So, with help of that, now I am now giving some of the important interpretations with the Coni's method that you have to practice. See, my friends, suppose Z is equal to x plus iy. This is the complex number given for you. In polar form, it is small r into cos theta plus I sin theta. This I can write it as r e power I theta. Say, for example, this is my origin, and I have represented this with my Z, and join OP, and magnitude is R, and this is theta in anti-clockwise direction. This point also already I have mentioned in our previous video. Suppose argument R, what does it mean by argument of the complex number is theta? That means if I have joined the line OP, then the angle made by OP with the x-axis in anti-clockwise direction is nothing but argument. And the distance between O and P is what? Magnitude of the complex number. So, if I know the magnitude as well as the angle made by the vector with the x-axis, then I can represent that complex number as what? R e power I theta. This is the representation of the complex number. This is called Euler's form. This already I told in our previous videos. That's why I am providing along this video in the description the corresponding links also. There you will check it. Now what I am doing is, now I am just rotating this through an angle alpha. So now the new position of this vector is like this. Let it be Q. Say this is Z1. So this what I did, I have just rotated the same vector through an angle alpha in same anti-clockwise direction. So what is the angle OQ bar which is making with x-axis? That is theta plus alpha. And moreover, I am just rotating the same vector OP through an angle alpha, that is OQ has appeared, OP has occurred. So the length OP as well as OQ both are same, that is also equal to R. Since I know the magnitude of OQ as well as the angle made by the vector OQ with the x-axis, therefore how can I represent OQ bar as a complex number? R e power I theta plus alpha. So this I can write it as R e power I theta into e power I alpha. This is nothing but Z e power I alpha. So Z1 is equal to Z e power I alpha. So what I am saying is, in simple way, what I am saying is, if this is the situation, this is OP bar and the length is R, and this is the angle made by the vector in anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise is nothing but what? Positive direction. Then automatically this position vector of Z is nothing but R e power I theta. This is the way to represent a complex number on organ different through Euler form. If I have rotated this through an angle alpha, so total angle made by this one, the same vector, again the same magnitude r, that is p dash z1 you say, so that is nothing but r e power I. My friends, this is what in anti-clockwise direction. If it is in clockwise direction, I can represent that as with r e power minus I theta. So if I have changed the direction, so here the two important points you have to practice. Whenever I am mentioning an argument theta, principal argument theta, there that theta is in what anti-clockwise direction. If you are taking that in a clockwise direction, then you have to write in the place of z as what, in the place of theta as what, minus theta. This is what the simplest form of the Coni's method. That's why let z is equal to x plus I y represented by p, and OP is equal to r, an argument of z is equal to theta, that is angle XOP. Therefore, P of z is equal to x plus I, that is r e power r cos theta plus I sin theta, that is equal to r e power I theta. Suppose P dash of z1 is such that angle POP dash is equal to alpha and OP dash is equal to r. Therefore, P dash of z1 is equal to r e power I theta plus alpha e power I theta into e power I alpha, that is z e power I alpha. With the help of this particular information only, we can solve and we can do wonders in complex numbers. Please master this. So finally what I'm saying is, if you know, and of course, please, after completion of the next slides, I will conclude this one. Now coming to the other geometrical representations. See, my friends, here please try to understand the diagram. This is x-axis and this is y-axis. This is origin, and here this is the line which is making an angle alpha, and this is origin, and this is the line which is making an angle alpha or theta in anti-clockwise direction. This is called argument of this one, and of course this is the point z1, and of course this is the point z2. Then what is pq? Pq is what, pq bar is what, z2 minus z1, and mod pq is nothing, pq bar is nothing but pq, this is called magnitude, that I can write it as this is mod z2 minus z1, and argument of pq is nothing but theta, because this is the angle made by the line in a anti-clockwise direction. So immediately, if two complex numbers are given for you, and if argument of that complex numbers is given known to you, then you can imagine the diagram like this. This is one we have to practice. That is z1 minus z2 is equal to OP bar minus OQ bar, that is QP bar. Mod of z1 minus z2 is equal to this one. So distance between the complex numbers z1 and z2, and argument of that is QP is nothing but what, alpha. Now try to understand this diagram. Of course, this is my x-axis, y-axis, and of course this is, see the angles and the directions very carefully. See the direction, all are in anti-clockwise direction. Suppose this is beta and this is alpha and this is theta, and of course this is the point P of z1, and this is the point Q of z2, and this is the point R of z3. So if I have rotated PQ through an angle theta in PR, so how can I represent PR bar with respect to PQ bar? That is PR bar is equal to mod PQ bar by PR bar into e power I theta. Okay. And next, observe this one. Suppose this is the triangle and these are the three angles, and this is RZ3, QZ2, PZ1, and this is about alpha, this is beta, and this is gamma. Then with the help of these two diagrams, what I am saying is, from the first diagram, what is theta? Theta is angle between these two. That is argument of Z3 minus Z2. Finally, I am landing this one. So Z3 minus Z1 by Z2 minus. So this is what, angle between Z3 PQ bar and PR bar. So angle between PR and PQ is represented like this by notation. Theta is equal to argument of Z3 minus Z1 by Z2 minus Z1. That is like this. Practice these diagrams, and whenever the situation holds good, you draw the diagrams in this way. And what is about alpha? Alpha is angle between what? QP bar and QR bar. That is angle between, this is QP bar. That is Z1 minus Z2 by Z3 minus Z2. That is alpha. What is beta? This is what? Angle between QR bar and what? This is RQ bar. RQ bar. So that is Z2 minus Z3 by Z1 minus. See, if this is what clockwise direction or anti-clockwise, whatever it may be, this is argument. So again, gamma. Gamma is nothing but what? Angle between this what? PR and PQ. Angle between PR and PQ. So if you are familiar with these arguments and that rotations and all, then complex numbers is nothing for you. Actually, I have explained maximum points here, and with practice itself, you can get confidence. Hope you like this video. You please share and subscribe my channel, and please don't forget to check the description. There I am providing everything for you. And again, I am repeating, please don't forget to press the bell icon. We will meet with another video of complex numbers soon.